Hey everybody, thank you for sticking around. It's been a while since I've posted on YouTube, and that's for good reason. For those of you who follow me on social media, specifically Instagram, you know all about my journey and you know what I've been up to. For those of you who don't, first of all, I'd recommend that you follow me on Instagram. I post more of my daily life types of things over on that page. And TikTok occasionally, but mostly Instagram. So I had a huge transition where I was in a space that the environment was draining me, uh, just the life I was living was draining me energetically. And I mean that not just energetically on a spiritual level, but physical energy too, like money, finance, that sort of thing. I lived in a space in Ohio where I was trapped in a box, essentially. There's not a lot of public land on the East Coast or where I live, and exploration and getting into nature is not the easiest of things. I'm gonna wait till this car passes by here. Probably actually isn't that loud on the video, but I am in an area right now that has planes and cars. There's no wind though, so I'm recording as much as I can because I still don't have my wind filter microphone. But enough of that. So I was trapped in a box, which was my apartment, and I needed to leave. I needed to get out. I had no idea what to do. I took a big risk, and I just told Spirit, I was like, you know what, I'm done. They had essentially cut off a lot of my income starting January 1st, which was hard, and was very confused about it all. You can read about it on my blog on my website, awakenwithwillow.com, where you can find the in-depth details. But essentially, I had to make a change. I had a choice. My choice was either I stay and be miserable, or I risk everything, say screw it, and go off on my own. I made the decision to leave. It was the best decision I have ever made. There's a squirrel behind me, so you're gonna see some wildlife too: lizards, squirrels, all kinds of stuff. I made the decision to leave. It was the best decision I made. I was able to get into a space where my family ended up making a room and taking in the cats for me for the time being. And then I just put a piece of plywood in my Subaru and made a bed out of it and threw everything in that I needed and went on the road. Now, before I left, I wanted to go to Arizona, New Mexico. Those are my places down in that area. And guides were like, do not do that. You have to go to Tampa, because I had to drop the snake off to my brother to give the snake to him for him to care for, because he's like super in his. I walked into his house, or his apartment, and he had 30 snakes, 30 ball pythons, a couple other things, tortoise, that sort of thing. And they were like, make sure you go to Key West. So I went. So I was like, it's another 8 now. For those of you who don't know, Tampa is northish Florida, and Key West, to get all the way down there from Tampa, is like another 8-hour drive. So you're looking 16 hours round trip, which I didn't want to do. Even though the Keys are beautiful, I was like, I just want to go to Arizona. But I listened. I went down to the Keys. I was going to try and stop in the Everglades. Every path in the Everglades that I wanted to take was closed, boarded up. Things like for your safety and all that, which is another story because I don't believe in those signs. I have personal experience with those signs being put up and them actually not being the truth. And that's a story for another day. But the Keys were phenomenal. Energetically, the natural area is a beautiful place. It's a very alive place, but it's a very deeply hurt place. Very deeply hurt, very deeply abused, and needs a lot of energetic help. The ocean just in general needs a lot of energetic help. And the people down there are, and I don't mean any offense if you do live in the Keys, this is not a blanket statement, it's a generalization, that the energy is very tourist heavy, very commercialized, lower vibrational, not paying attention. There's trash everywhere. It is just kind of dismal is the word my guides are giving me. It's very sad. And so I spent some time there gritting light, received a lot of gifts, crab shells, all kinds of things, and got some shells, some fossilized shells for adopt a spirit. I found a trilobite fossil that was like 4 inches long, embedded in a piece of limestone. That was phenomenal. And I couldn't take that. That was in like a so that piece of coral limestone thing. That was it's probably 200 pounds. But then what else? I saw a mermaid. So there's a video on Instagram, and I believe it's on TikTok, of my reaction after seeing a mermaid, but they were a little mermaid. So when people think of things, I'll do more videos on this too. They think of things, they often think of mermaids as full-size humans. No, I've seen them like really, really small to much larger. And then went down to the Keys and met a beautiful soul who invited me to use their one of their like secondary home or something they were trying to sell for a few days. So I was able to stay down there for far longer, meet a bunch of mermaids, merfolk, and other beings and creatures that were out there. And then I came up the coast to Florida, or up along the coast of Florida, and found an octopus shell, which was, I didn't know octopi had shells to begin with. It's a special type. It's called a paper nautilus. And the ocean had pushed a shell right up on the shore. I picked it up and I was like, what is that? What is that? It was a gift. I heard in my head, I heard octopus and nautilus. And I was like, that's not a nautilus shell. I know what a nautilus shell looks like, and they're heavier duty. And it's not an octopus shell because octopi don't have shells. Apparently there is a type of octopi that does have a shell. It's just, it was a phenomenal thing to experience, to get that piece. You can see pictures of it on Instagram. And then I walked down, they'd given me that gift, and I walked down the beach. It was Pompano Beach, down by Miami. And there's a lot of people, like a lot of commercialism. Miami is, I mean, Florida overall, again, I don't mean any offense when I say this to people who live here, because it's not everybody, it's the energy overall. Nature is phenomenal. The coastlines are in dire need of light work and dire need of help. It is so commercialized, so overtaken. It's just sad. In the ocean is sad. It needs energy work, needs help in that space. And so I just walked along those beaches, and when I was on Pompano, I walked probably 3 miles down to the lighthouse, and there's a pier there. I walked under the pier all the way to the lighthouse where they had a pipe. There's a space where the boats come in, and it was pumped for, I don't know why they were doing this, because it's connected to the ocean. It's not like they were raising and lowering it, but it was pumping out water, and there was enormous piles of sand, and it's pumping the water out and just leveling the sand. And when it's doing that, it's revealing all the shells that are buried. So all the big stuff, all the cool things that have been buried over the years. And I sat there, and Spirit had me, grab that one, grab this one. I had lobster beings come through, crab beings, other types of beings, like, please grab this one for this, and we're going to put them in Adopt a Spirit. If you're not familiar with Adopt a Spirit, you can find that on my website, awakenwithwillow.com. It's where we help tie people to different energies for their energy work. And so then I hopped up the beach again, and the next day I went somewhere else. I don't remember. Where did I go? Oh no, it was that night. I went up to some beach, Jensen, maybe it's called. I don't know. It's somewhere north. Beautiful beach, pelicans everywhere, and just gritted some light, went to sleep, and woke up the next morning, and then was shocked by what happened. Is I was supposed to go north towards Cape Canaveral area, and it's interesting, like, I don't have a desire to see that stuff. I don't have a desire to see the space shuttles or any of that stuff. I really didn't have a desire to be anywhere in Florida because I knew the energy. I knew what I was driving into, essentially. And my only thing was I wanted to be by the ocean, which I can do other places. But the Keys were phenomenal. I was able to spend time by myself, and I found pockets of seclusion. Guides led me to these pockets of seclusion where there weren't any people around, and I'd find beautiful things, beautiful experiences with the beans, the fish, all of that. And then coming up the coast and finding these pockets where I was kind of left alone. There were still a lot of tourists, and then when I started driving towards Cape Canaveral, the way I had it set up is I go to these rest stops because I'm living out of my car. So I get up in the morning. If I'm driving, I go, okay, where's the next stop that I'm going to? It's, okay, it's this Cape Canaveral place, somewhere outside of there. Then I go, okay, well, where's a rest stop in between there, or a beach or something public I can go sit and do work at? And I found a rest stop and plugged it in, got on the turnpike. It had me take the turnpike and missed like at least 2 of the exits. I was like, oh, that's my exit, can't get over, and went forward, and then was like, got distracted and like, oh, there goes the next exit. And then you're in Florida, so there's a big section of the turnpike where there's no exits for like an hour because you're going through swamps and there's nobody around. And so I got stuck and ended up in Orlando, and my guides guided me to this campsite. They had said they wanted me to camp Wednesday through Friday. I have the site until Saturday, I believe. And I was like, oh, there's a beautiful butterfly. See if he flies behind me. I don't think it came into view. Yeah, it's gone. I was gonna turn the camera, but I thought camping meant like Georgia area because I just wanted to get out of Florida, and no, it meant here. I found a cheap campsite, trusted it, came to it, and it's probably the best paid campsite I've ever been to. It's just a beautiful space and area, quiet right now because it's not the weekend, and it's a space that, like, I don't know how I got it. Like, the park's pretty much empty. I'm in Orlando. I mean, the theme parks are 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away. But I'm guessing like all the tourists just stay up by the theme parks type of thing. There's a beautiful dock here where you can see videos of that on my social media, and the swampy lake area. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I am now able to do my videos and updates for 30 Days of Galactics and other things, which I'm excited to do. So I'm going to film up a bunch of them today after this video. This video will post first to YouTube. I'm going to film a bunch of these videos, get them scheduled so you guys can have some more content coming out, and just keep going with the flow here. There might be some delays here and there with my content because I am on the road. I have to find spaces that I can film these videos in. When I was in the Keys, there was no way with that wind coming off the ocean. Beautiful area, always cool and just phenomenal. But for filming, I don't have the gear to cut out the wind and the background noise. So that's next on my list of things to get. And I also want to do that when I'm kind of in a more fixed location, maybe when I get back to my parents, so that I'm not worried about, if there's a shipping delay and where do I pick up my package and that sort of thing. So, but those videos are coming. Just thank you all for your support. This journey's been phenomenal so far. All the beings that I've met, I'm going to be doing light codes again. Today I'll probably be drawing some more light codes and sharing those on social media, so make sure you watch out for those. And then I have events. So this is the beautiful part. I have an event in New York. If you're in the New York area, the Long Island area, there's an event in St. James on May 4th. You can reach out to me and or just comment and ask for the link, and you will be able to register for it. It's $111 for a 2-hour event with me and my friend Sarah Rose, who does light language. You can see her on Instagram. And so just if you're in the Long Island area, there's that one, and then there's one in Kennett Square. Kennett Square, it's outside of Philadelphia. I don't remember the exact town name, but it's like Kennett Square, Kennett Park, something like that. By Long Gardens. You can see it on my website. That one is May 6th, and that's another 2-hour one. Now that's only me, so it's an $88 event, because it's not 2 people, 2 energies, and that sort of thing. And you can come out to that event as well. I'm also working on one for Pittsburgh and some others in the New York State area, Pennsylvania area, and then once I get out to Arizona in the Southwest, there will be events in Sedona, LA, some other places like that. And also you can find me at the Lemurian Life Expo in June, and that's in Mount Shasta. So thank you for watching this video. I know it was just updates, not super exciting stuff, but I just appreciate your support. And if you feel you want me to come out to your area, your neck of the woods, and would like me to do an event there, please reach out to me. I am looking to my community to help me find spaces and places to bring these events and these evenings to their hometowns, and kind of help people come together, meet each other, and do energy work, and meet some extraterrestrials and faeries and dragons and whoever's around them. We're going to be hopefully activating a lot of people at these collectives that we're putting together. So if you have any questions, let me know. I love you all, grateful for each and every one of you, and feel free to support the journey at awakenwithwillow.com. Bye.